Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors, All About Your Construction of Lebanon, Oregon. For your next residential project, call All About Your Construction, and D. Scott Smith. For your Google advertising needs, go to dscottsmith.com. Good morning, everybody, or whatever time of day it is where you are. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So glad to be with you today. I'm really excited about my guest, Gail Robertson, a good friend and just a great individual. She's a super keynote speaker, working with people, doing all kinds of incredible things, and we're going to let her share more about that. But first, I wanted to remind you, I'm Russ Hedge. I'm an inspiration specialist, coach, motivational speaker. I love to be with people and connect with people. So if you want to connect with me, you can just go to russhedge.com. It's that easy. russhedge.com has all the links to my social media, to my email, to my phone, anything that you want that you can connect with me. If you need somebody to light up a room, you can get Gail, you can get me, you can get both of us to come in and encourage you. I can do coaching for you if you need somebody to encourage and inspire you throughout your day. If you need a little extra help, you just don't want to talk to anybody, you can pick up Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, my book at Amazon or any online booksellers, and that is there to encourage you as well. So that's all a little bit about me. And again, don't forget to go to russhedge.com because I love to meet people and connect. And today I would love to have you do that. So look forward to that. Without any other information on me, we're just going to jump in, bring Gail in the room, and just have a great time. Here she comes. Hello, Gail.
Good morning. Woo-hoo.
I was thinking this morning that we'd be a great tandem just to cheer people up every morning.
Although, you know what, we might just be too much. You know what, when I travel, there's one friend, when I go visit her, you have to adapt, as you know, to your audience, right? So I know when I go visit her in the mornings, I have to just keep my voice in my head because I'm very high energy in the morning. That's my prime time. And not everybody, that's their prime time. So I've learned to have to kind of, she actually one time said, okay, let's not talk until I have my coffee. So yeah.
Well, and that is so true because that is my prime time too. And I'm flying in the morning. Usually my wife and my family are the same way. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's enough for now. And then later in the day, in the evening, they're all revved up and going. And I'm like, I'm winding down, to say the least, at that point. So
I wind down unless I get a second wind, and then it's like, look out, then I can actually be on fire. Like when I go to back when we went to events, I could actually be inspired to rev up again. So
yeah. Well, you know,
atmosphere.
That's it. Well, if you're around people and you're at an event, it's a little different, you know, but rather than just winding down at home for the day. So anyway, well, listen, hey, I want people to hear more about you and all you're up to. So if the floor is yours, go for it.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing now is I'm working with a lot of people in the area of networking and outreach. And I call myself a marketing guide because what I like to do is not so much coaching, it's actually guiding people and really helping them look at things from a big picture. So I say by day I'm a marketing guide, and then my other alter ego is that I'm a chief curiosity officer because I really like to use curiosity as a tool. And I've been through 5 different careers now. So I started as a reporter. So I'm a recovering journalist who then transitioned to decided to go run a bed and breakfast on an island. And that's where I've received my MBA, I call it, because I learned everything from soup to nuts and running a business on an island. Then after that, I decided, well, what next? So I went into fundraising, and I was a fundraiser for a multi-cultural, a multi-complex so we had to raise $1 million in a year. So I did that. And then from there, I ended up getting hired by one of the people on the campaign cabinet and went in to be marketing manager for 11 years in a company that grew from about 200 to 900 people. And then now I have my own business. So using all of that experience and contacts, I'm now an entrepreneur and loving it, loving the networking aspect. And my motto to everyone is just show up.
Yeah. I love that. I love that motto because the thing is, people don't get started and show up. That is really the number one issue. I have 5 steps to connecting. They're really 5 steps to life, but 5 steps to connecting. The first, number one is start.
Mm-hmm.
People don't show up. They don't start. And that is whether it's fear, whether it's whatever, because we mull things over and we think and we plan and we do so much things and we just don't show up and start. So I love that. Just show up. So when you're meeting with your customers and your clients, just tell me like what a typical client you would have would be. Who would you be working with?
Well, that's interesting because I don't really have a typical client, although there is one common thread through all of them. And that is that they have the right mindset and they have the desire to want to make change. They have the desire to want to do better. And they also have the desire to listen to me. And I actually say that with a bit of a laugh, but also serious, is that the people that I work best with is that they know that they want to move forward. They know that they want to move forward. And what my job as a guide is to help develop that roadmap for them and help to guide them along the way. So coaching is great. And coaching is where you kind of really work with that person and you kind of pull them out. Whereas I kind of consider myself, I'm at the next step, which is, okay, you know where you want to go. I'm going to guide you. So hop on board. Let's move forward. And obviously they're allowed to, like the horse pulling me back a little bit once in a while. But generally speaking, I work with people who have that desire to change and also they appreciate my voracious curiosity. So I ask a lot of questions. And one of the things that I've learned from being a reporter, as well as being, a manager and running a bed and breakfast, is that if you don't ask the questions at the start, what you're going to do is you're going to start down that road and realize, oops, I'm in the middle of the countryside here and I don't have enough gas in my tank. What do I do now? So we want to make sure that you have as much of your list of items up front. Now, you may forgot that, I didn't bring enough food. I'm going to have to take a detour, but that detour takes you down a really cool path sometimes. So, so that's where I work with clients, and I actually focusing more in manufacturing. I knew nothing really about manufacturing when I first got into this, but what I've learned is that by asking questions, finding the right people to work with, and doing my research, really I can apply marketing principles in that area the same as I did when I worked in insurance and knew nothing about insurance. So my journalism background has certainly taught me ask questions, and you don't have to know everything. You have to know the people who do know things and reach out to them. Now I'm having trouble hearing you, and I know we're live, Russ. So
hey, well that's weird. All of a sudden the mute button went on. Good. Was that the first blip? Was that the first blip of not being able to hear me?
That was the first blip. Yep. Oh, okay, you know what? That's the other thing. I will tell you, I right away, I told you, that's the other thing that people, I always say, you're either going to like it about me or not. But my clients seem to like me is that I do speak up. I don't just do as I'm told all the time. I figure if you hire me, you're hiring me because of my background, my expertise in certain areas. And I often say it would be like, you don't want to hire a plumber and then tell them what tools to use and tell them how to do their job. So I bring that to the table. There's certain things I know, and if I don't know, I will say I don't know.
Right, right. Well, that's what I think is so great about you. I mean, you're approaching, like you said, with a curious mindset, and you're really there to help them. And so, that I think what is so important. And people, marketing is a big deal. And there's so many, especially you're talking about manufacturing businesses, no matter what they're in. So many people really don't know where to start with that, and they need your expertise to guide them and help them develop that.
And, Russ, just like how we meet and connect, how we met, right? If you trace back how we met, it was through networking. And I've met people through networking that I can reach out to help and to subcontract for work I'm doing. So that's what's really key is that, don't try to take everything on. And I've learned that through some experience too, is that you can find people who are experts in some areas. Like I have someone that works with me on Facebook ads, because I would actually, if I had to do Facebook ads, that would not be my happy place. Same thing with Excel spreadsheets, but I don't need to use space in my brain to do those, because there's people out there that have expertise in those areas, just like you have expertise. And I know Scott, who is one of the sponsors on here, like you guys each have your expertise. We have Alan Hennessy. I met you guys through Alan Hennessy on the Global Tea Break. And the other thing about showing up is making sure that you connect with people in various networking opportunities and listen, observe, and find people that you can have the same values and can work towards the same goals.
Right.
I have found people that way, right? That is the best way to find people that can, and then in turn, my clients will be happy because I find them the best people.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is so good, because, this podcast is all about how amazing people connect. You're definitely one of those amazing people, but connection and collaboration are key. And that's something that I think people that have been moving in the right direction over the last year plus have been doing. They've been connecting and collaborating. And same thing, like you said, I've collaborated with Alan. My logo was David Brown in Dublin, Ireland. There's so many people, and I love what Alan has done too, because he's got Wendy Stunt and Yvonne Redden now working with him as well in his organization. And of course, my good friend, D. Scott Smith. Scott has been not only a great friend, but a huge plus. And he does so many great things with Google ads and Facebook ads and all those different things and helping companies. He just is constantly diversifying in what he's doing. I tend to be a little bit more like you're saying. I stay in my lane. So I really am doing what I do, but I can connect people and work with people, whatever someone needs, but I'm not going to do it for them. If someone needs a good accountant, I'm definitely not going to do that for them, but I have a lot of good ones in my hip pocket. If someone needs somebody that's really good at developing their website, that's not me, but I have somebody that I can work with and give them to do that. And I think people appreciate that.
Yes. And all those people you mentioned, I mean, I know them all through networking. And another person I want to do a shout out to is Jim Fuse. Now, Jim Fuse has actually, I hired him to do an event with me. He was my show producer. And I tell you, that was such a relief to be able to not have to worry about all the back end things. He took care of that, working with StreamYard. And, I could just focus on what I do best too, because I moderate panels and I do speaking. So, and, I'm just preparing actually for something tonight where I'm going to be moderating a panel, and I was helping one of the speakers because sometimes people need help with just focusing. They have so much content. And because of my background in journalism, I was able to basically get it down to 3 key points. And so she's now ready to go tonight. So when I moderate panels, I don't just show up and hope for the best. I do my research. Now, I love doing that too, because I learned so much, right? But it's about preparation and being able and then to help others, right? So that's one thing that I do as part of my guide, is that I guide people. So it's, as opposed to spending a lot of time trying to get them to get to there, I help them skip a few steps and say, okay, here's where you need to go. Step 1, 2, 3, let's go. And we can be out of the gate. And now not everybody's ready for that. So if you're not ready for that, you probably wouldn't be the best client for me. I'm ready for the clients that are ready to, I always say, buckle up and let's go.
I would believe that with you for sure. It's interesting you brought up Jim Fuse, because when Scott and I first got going with the live, which has turned into a great platform and have done so many lives now, but Alan Hennessy and Jim Fuse are always in the credits as our technical advisors, because they're the ones that kind of showed us what to do and how to get things started. And it makes it nice to have people that you can collaborate with that already know what's going on. And then, like you said, you can use them for events or whatever. And that is so great. And they're great individuals. So, well, listen, believe it or not, our time is already winding up. I know, it's just like we just started.
It's so fast.
I know it. But you know what? People are going to say, I have got to call Gail. I've got to connect with her. So tell everybody, how do they get in touch with you? I actually have not had my banner running underneath, but I have there you go. I have your LinkedIn site there. Okay. So I'll run that. But how do people get in touch with you?
Well, the best way to find me would just be to probably put Google search Gail Now, because you'll find me on Twitter, LinkedIn. I am on Instagram as @GailNow1. There's a story to that because someone has Gail Now. But Gail Now and on Twitter. If you really want to probably find the most out about me and what I'm doing and what's happening in my world, Twitter is definitely my place. I know you had Madeline Sklar on here too as well. So she was a big inspiration to me in terms of expanding my networking on Twitter. And yeah, so there's lots of places that you can find me. So and then obviously my website is gailnow.com, my email, gail@gailnow.com. So pretty easy to find me just about any place. So.
I found that's the best thing. Make it easy for people to find you. Otherwise, they're not going to find you. So, well, that is so great. And yeah, Madeline was on here and she is awesome. So, but I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. It has been just a pleasure talking again. We've been able to now talk many times, and I know this is going to be a friendship that goes into the future. We're going to be able to do great things. Hopefully you and I can collaborate on something, or we'll be speaking at the same event soon. And I just want to thank you again for all you do. I'll make sure and link to all of that connection information. This podcast will sit on the platforms, Facebook and YouTube. It was broadcasting on Twitter. I'm not sure if that is happening anymore because there were some changes there, but also on the audio podcast platform. So pretty much any audio podcast platform, it'll be there as well. So people can tune in later and listen. So thanks again. I appreciate you so much.
Russ, if I can say one last thing for anybody that may be new listening from my group, please listen. I listened to you on podcasts, and I had known you, and I really started listening to a lot of your podcasts, and I'd highly recommend it. There's some really great people you've had on here. And so for newbies that are listening, please go back and listen, because wow, talk about inspirational people that you've had on. Kudos to you. Really great job.
Well, thank you. I mean, I've been blessed with incredible people. You're right. And Tristan, who I just popped up, is from the UK. He and I were chatting this morning talking about connection, and we got connected through the Global Tea Break too.
Nice.
What a great guy, and all the stuff that he's doing. And so, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the guests we have on. But today, you are the star.
Well, thank you, Russ. Have a great day. I'm so glad. I loved connecting with you like this, and look forward to seeing you on Global Tea Break and one day in person.
There you go. There you go. Well, hang tight for just a minute, and I will see you in a second here. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're watching this live or on replay, please say hey. Please make comments. We value you so much. And that is why I bring these amazing people that add value to you and that teach you how to connect and teach you all the great things that they are doing. And I am blessed and I'm learning every day from them. So thank you so much for joining in again. We are on every Monday and Thursday, and that is 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time now. And you can tune in on Facebook or YouTube for sure. I'm going to have to double check if it's still on Twitter or not, but it is so great to have you all here. Have a great day and a great life. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.